Do you want to be wise? Do you want to be wise? Do you want to have wisdom? And what is wisdom? Maybe it's not something we care about much anymore. We might think intelligence is important, or strength, or beauty, or success. We think they're all important. But do we think that wisdom is important? Well, today we're looking at the book of Proverbs, and Proverbs is all about wisdom. It actually, right at the start, pictures a father teaching their son. I've got a father here. Hello. Proverbs is like a father teaching their son about wisdom. The father says, listen to my teaching. Listen to your mother's teaching. I'm going to teach you to be wise. And actually in Proverbs, wisdom is pictured as being a woman. Lady wisdom. Here's Lady Wisdom. And in Proverbs, wisdom is described as being a lady. Lady Wisdom. So what does Proverbs teach us about wisdom? Well, here's the first thing. Wisdom begins with fearing God. Wisdom begins with fearing God. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Now, the fear of the Lord, it doesn't mean to be terrified of God. It means to have a healthy awe and reverence for God. Knowing that God is in charge, knowing it's his world, that he decides what's good and bad and right and wrong. That, the Bible says, is the beginning of wisdom. To be wise is to have a relationship with God. As she says, you could be the cleverest person in the world, but without God, you can't have wisdom, according to the Bible. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom begins with fearing God. Second thing. Wisdom is precious. Wisdom is precious. I don't know what the most precious thing you own is. Maybe it's your games console, or you've got lots of money in like a piggy bank, or you've got some really expensive trainers or clothes. Well, the Bible says that wisdom is more profitable than silver. It yields better returns than gold. It's more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare to how great and precious wisdom is. Even more precious than silver and gold. Maybe your mum's got a jewellery box at home and all her gold and silver and rubies and diamonds are in there, and she hides it away when you go on holiday so that it doesn't get robbed. Well, Proverbs says wisdom's even more important than all that, even more precious than all that gold and silver. It's precious. But just like, finding and digging for gold takes time, so does getting wisdom. We need to work hard at getting wisdom. We're told to spend time thinking about Proverbs, meditating on them as we find wisdom. Next thing. Wisdom helps us live well in God's world. It helps us be skillful at life. Maybe you're skilled at a sport or a computer game. Well, Proverbs says it teaches us to be skillful at doing life, whatever might happen to us. So wisdom helps us identify and resist temptation before it's too late. It helps us know what to say at the right time. Maybe when someone's having a go at you or angry at you or talking rubbish to you, wisdom helps us respond. It helps us build strong relationships with friends and family. It helps us make good decisions with our money. It shows us how to earn respect, to be successful in business, to look after the poor, to be generous, to be honest, to be just. Wisdom gives us all those things. And it means when things go wrong, we know what to do. We'll make things better rather than make things worse for ourselves. That's wisdom. It's great, isn't it? It's found through a relationship with God, through reading his book. And it helps us live well in God's world. And actually, wisdom is one of the values of our school. Isn't that great? We want you to leave school not just having lots of knowledge in your head, but being wise, knowing how to use it in life. So, wisdom begins with fearing God. Wisdom is precious. Wisdom helps us live well with skill in God's world. What's the last thing we need to know about wisdom? Perfect wisdom is found in Jesus. Now, like I said, in Proverbs, wisdom is personified as a woman. That means if wisdom was a person, this is what it'd look like. Right at the end, it explains what wisdom looks like as a woman. Imagine you were to draw the perfect superhero who had all the different powers combined together. Well, at the end of Proverbs, that's what's done with wisdom, the perfect wise woman with all the wise things all together. She's described as a wife of noble character. Very good. She's skillful, she's wise, she's wonderful. But you might think, I could never be that wise. No one has ever had that much wisdom, really, have they? Just like no one's had all those superpowers all together. It's impossible. I'm not like that. I've messed up. I do foolish things. And that's true about everyone, apart from Jesus. The New Testament says Jesus is the wisdom of God. He shows us what wisdom is perfectly. And we're told that when we trust Jesus, we can be made wise for salvation. We can have wisdom to be saved, not just for this world, but forever, by trusting Jesus, the wisdom of God. So there you go. Do you want to be wise? Do you want to be skilled at life? Do you want something that's more precious than gold? Proverbs helps us be wise. Helps us as we begin with the fear of God. It helps us to live skillfully in God's world. That's what I want to do. I'm sure you do too.